Oatmeal. It's been the trusted friend on our breakfast table for years, hasn't it? A warm bowl on a chilly morning, promising comfort, fiber, and a good start to the day. We pour it, stir it, maybe add a little something extra to make it just right. We've always been told it's one of the healthiest choices we can make, a champion for our hearts, our digestion, keeping things running smoothly as the years go by. And for the most part, that's absolutely true. A simple bowl of plain oatmeal, prepared correctly, is a powerhouse of goodness. But what if I told you that this beloved, innocent bowl could sometimes turn into something that works against your body? Especially as we get a little older, it's not the oatmeal itself that's the villain. Oh no, it's what we sometimes add to it, or pair it with, often without even thinking. These additions, these seemingly harmless companions, can sometimes create a reaction, a clash, that hinders all those wonderful benefits oatmeal is supposed to provide. Instead of feeling light and energized, you might feel bloated, sluggish. Your blood sugar might spike unexpectedly, or you might not even be absorbing all the good stuff the oatmeal has to offer. It's a painful reality many face, feeling unwell despite trying to eat right. The secret lies in understanding these surprising food pairings. In this video, we're going to uncover 7 common foods that, when mixed with your oatmeal, can unfortunately turn this healthy staple into something far less beneficial, and in some cases, quite problematic for your system. You'll learn why these combinations cause trouble and what simple swaps you can make instead. Watch to the end for something that will surprise you. Now, let's dive right into these combinations that can turn your healthy oatmeal bowl into a hidden challenge. The first one might seem incredibly obvious, almost too simple, but it's one of the most common culprits we need to talk about. And that's excessive added sugar. We're not talking about the natural sugars in a few berries. No, we mean the spoonfuls of white sugar, brown sugar, maple syrup, or honey that we pour in generously to sweeten things up. Oatmeal itself has a naturally mild flavor, and our taste buds, especially after years of enjoying sweeter things, often crave that extra hit. We might think, oh, it's just a little bit, but those little bits add up, and when combined with oatmeal, they create a specific issue. Oatmeal is fantastic because of its soluble fiber, particularly beta-glucan. This fiber is key to its benefits. It helps slow down digestion, creates a gel-like substance in your gut that helps you feel full, and is brilliant for regulating blood sugar levels by preventing sharp spikes after eating. It allows carbohydrates to be absorbed more slowly, giving you sustained energy. However, when you flood that bowl with a large amount of added sugar, you're essentially undermining this whole process. The rapid influx of simple sugars hits your bloodstream much faster than the complex carbs in the oatmeal can manage. Even though the fiber is there trying to do its job, it's overwhelmed by the sheer volume of quick-absorbing sugar. For someone over 60, managing blood sugar is often a significant health focus. Whether you have prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, or just want to avoid the energy crashes that come with sugar highs and lows, adding lots of sugar to oatmeal can lead to a rapid spike in blood glucose, followed by a crash a little later. This can leave you feeling tired, shaky, and even hungrier than before. Over time, consistently causing these spikes puts stress on your body's insulin response. It's like trying to drive a steady, fuel-efficient car, the oatmeal, but constantly slamming the accelerator, the added sugar. You lose the smooth ride and put unnecessary strain on the engine. Think about it this way. You're eating oatmeal specifically for that slow-release energy and blood sugar control. But the sugar you add cancels that out. You're eating healthy food in a way that makes it unhealthy. A small amount of natural sweetener, like a drizzle of real maple syrup or a teaspoon of honey, might be okay for some. But the key word is small. Many people are adding tablespoons, or using highly processed syrups where the sugar content is sky-high. Instead of reaching for the sugar bowl, try enhancing your oatmeal's flavor with things that offer nutritional benefits, without the sugar overload. Spices like cinnamon, nutmeg, or cardamom can add warmth and depth. Vanilla extract is another great option. Fresh or frozen berries provide natural sweetness, fiber, and antioxidants. A sliced banana adds sweetness and potassium. Even a sprinkle of chopped nuts or seeds adds flavor and healthy fats, which can also help with satiety and slow sugar absorption slightly. The goal is to let the natural goodness of the oatmeal and its healthier partners shine, rather than masking it with sugar. Moving on, the second food combination that can be problematic, and often goes hand in hand with the first one, is mixing your oatmeal with refined grains or sugary breakfast cereals. Now, this might sound strange. Why would you mix cereal with oatmeal? But think about how we often eat breakfast. Maybe you have a smaller bowl of oatmeal and then a side of toast made with white bread. Or maybe you're tempted to sprinkle a crunchy, sweet cereal on top of your oatmeal for texture. This is where the issue lies. Just like excessive added sugar, refined grains like white bread or sugary cereals are quickly broken down by the body into glucose. They lack the fiber and nutrients of whole grains. When you combine these fast-digesting carbs with your slow-digesting oatmeal, you're introducing that same problem of uneven energy release and potential blood sugar spikes we just talked about. The refined carbs get absorbed quickly, while the oatmeal is still working through its slower process. This can lead to a more pronounced and faster blood sugar increase than if you'd just eaten the oatmeal on its own or paired it with complex carbs. Sugary cereals, in particular, are often loaded with added sugars, artificial colors, and flavors, and are low in fiber. Adding them to oatmeal is essentially diluting the health benefits of the oatmeal with unhealthy ingredients. You're taking a nutrient-dense food and mixing it with a nutrient-poor one. It's like putting muddy water into a clean glass of water. The whole glass becomes less clean. For folks in their 60s and beyond, maintaining stable energy levels throughout the morning is crucial. You want to avoid that mid-morning slump. Pairing oatmeal with refined or sugary items makes that slump more likely. You get a quick hit, and then you crash. Instead of white toast or a side of sugary cereal, if you want something alongside your oatmeal or on top, opt for truly whole grain options. If you like toast, choose 100% whole wheat or sourdough bread. If you like crunch, a sprinkle of nuts, seeds, or unsweetened toasted coconut flakes provides texture and healthy fats without the sugar hit of cereal. A small handful of low-sugar granola, check the labels carefully, could also work. But be mindful of portion sizes. The key is to complement the oatmeal with foods that support its slow-release energy properties, not counteract them with rapid sugar or refined carb delivery. By being mindful of what you pair with your oatmeal, you ensure that this healthy staple delivers on its promise of steady energy and better blood sugar control throughout your morning. Now that we've talked about the pitfalls of adding too much sugar and pairing oatmeal with refined grains or sugary cereals, let's look at another common addition that can cause issues: large amounts of full-fat dairy. For years, cream, full-fat milk, or generous dollops of butter have been used to make oatmeal richer and more satisfying. While dairy can be a source of calcium and protein for some, using high-fat versions in large quantities with oatmeal can create a different kind of problem for digestion and potentially nutrient absorption, particularly as our digestive systems can become a little more sensitive with age. Oatmeal is rich in fiber, which helps slow digestion. When you add a significant amount of fat, especially saturated fat from full-fat dairy, you further slow down the digestive process considerably. While slow digestion is often a good thing for satiety and blood sugar, adding excessive fat can sometimes lead to discomfort, feeling overly full, bloated, or even sluggish. It can make the whole meal feel heavy in your stomach. Our bodies have to work harder to break down large amounts of fat, and doing this alongside the breakdown of complex carbohydrates can be challenging for some digestive systems. Furthermore, for individuals who might have some degree of lactose intolerance, even mild sensitivity, combining lactose from dairy with the fiber in oatmeal can sometimes exacerbate digestive upset, leading to gas, bloating, or discomfort. while the fiber can sometimes help buffer the effects of lactose. In others, the combination can be a recipe for digestive distress. Beyond digestion, large amounts of saturated fat, even from dairy, are something many older adults are advised to limit for heart health. Starting your day with a significant dose of saturated fat can contribute to your overall daily intake, which might be better managed through other foods or spread throughout the day. It goes against the often heart-healthy intention of choosing oatmeal in the first place. Instead of drowning your oatmeal in full-fat milk or butter, consider using lower-fat dairy options in moderation, like skim milk, 1% or 2% milk, or a small spoonful of Greek yogurt stirred in at the end for creaminess and protein. Even better, explore non-dairy alternatives like almond milk, soy milk, oat milk. Adding oat milk to oatmeal is perfectly fine. Or coconut milk. Check sugar content and use in moderation due to fat, which can provide creaminess without the lactose or high saturated fat load of full-fat dairy. If you like a touch of richness, a small amount of butter or a swirl of nut butter can go a long way without overwhelming the dish with fat. The key is balance and moderation, ensuring that your oatmeal is easy to digest and supports your overall health goals, rather than potentially hindering them with excessive fats. Moving on to our fourth problematic pairing, processed sweeteners, particularly those containing artificial ingredients or high levels of sugar alcohols. While some people turn to these as an alternative to sugar to save calories, they come with their own set of potential issues, especially when combined with a fiber-rich food like oatmeal. Many artificial sweeteners or sugar alcohols are not fully absorbed in the digestive tract. While this is why they contribute fewer calories, it means they travel lower down into the large intestine, where they are fermented by gut bacteria. When you combine these non-absorbable compounds with the fermentable fiber in oatmeal, you can create a significant amount of gas and bloating for an older digestive system, which might already be a bit slower or more sensitive. This can be particularly uncomfortable, leading to noticeable distension, cramping, and flatulence. It's the perfect storm for digestive upset for many people. Think about how some sugar-free candies or gum can cause digestive issues. Adding those types of sweeteners to a fiber-rich base like oatmeal can amplify those effects. Furthermore, the long-term effects of artificial sweeteners on gut health and metabolism are still areas of research, but some studies suggest they might negatively impact the balance of beneficial gut bacteria, which is crucial for everything from digestion to immune function. While they might not cause an immediate toxic reaction, their interaction with the gut microbiome, especially when regularly consumed with a gut-influencing food like oatmeal, is something to be mindful of. Instead of processed sweeteners, we cycle back to the best options using natural, whole food sources of sweetness in moderation, fresh or frozen fruits, a small amount of date paste, or even just relying on the natural flavors of spices and extracts are much gentler on your digestive system and provide actual nutrients. Unlike artificial sweeteners, if you absolutely need a bit more sweetness than fruit provides, a very small amount of natural sweetener like maple syrup or honey is often better tolerated than artificial ones, provided you're not needing strict blood sugar control that disallows any added sugar. The goal is to nourish your body and support smooth digestion, not create a bubbling cauldron of gas and discomfort. Our fifth tricky food pairing to watch out for is large quantities of dried fruit, especially those with added sugars. Now, wait, you might say, dried fruit is healthy. It's fruit. And yes, dried fruit can be a convenient source of fiber and some nutrients. However, when fruit is dried, the natural sugars become much more concentrated by weight. A small handful of raisins or cranberries contains significantly more sugar than the same volume of fresh grapes or cranberries. And many commercially dried fruits, like cranberries or tropical fruits, have even more sugar added during processing to make them sweeter and more palatable. When you dump a generous scoop of these sugar-concentrated dried fruits into your oatmeal, you're essentially adding a large dose of rapidly available sugar, similar to adding table sugar or syrup. While the fiber in the dried fruit helps a little bit, It's often not enough to counteract the high sugar load, especially in older varieties with added sweeteners. This can lead to that unwanted blood sugar spike we've been discussing, undermining oatmeal's slow-release benefits. Furthermore, dried fruits are much less hydrating than fresh or frozen fruits, while oatmeal needs liquid to cook. Adding lots of dried fruit doesn't contribute much moisture and can, for some people, contribute to constipation if their overall fluid intake isn't sufficient, particularly when combined with the significant fiber load of oatmeal. The combination can sometimes create a denser mass in the digestive tract that requires adequate hydration to move through smoothly. Consider the portion size carefully. A small sprinkle of raisins or cranberries might be okay for some, but piling them on defeats the purpose of a blood sugar-friendly breakfast. Look for dried fruits that have no added sugar if you do use them. Even better, switch to fresh or frozen fruits. A bowl of oatmeal with fresh blueberries, sliced strawberries, or warmed-up frozen raspberries provides natural sweetness, more hydration, antioxidants, and fiber without the concentrated sugar hit. It's a much gentler and more beneficial way to sweeten your bowl while getting the true goodness of fruit. Next on our list of tricky oatmeal companions is something you might not even think of adding to your oatmeal bowl itself, but often eat alongside it: fried ingredients like bacon, sausage, or fried eggs. While a balanced breakfast can include protein and healthy fats, adding greasy, fried components next to your healthy bowl of oatmeal can essentially counteract many of its benefits and add unnecessary strain to your system. Oatmeal is celebrated for being low in saturated fat and cholesterol, contributing to heart health. When you pair it with foods high in saturated fat, cholesterol, and often sodium from processing and frying, you're immediately loading up your plate with ingredients that work against the heart-healthy profile of the oatmeal. This isn't about moderation in your overall diet. It's about how these specific combinations can impact your system right at the start of the day. The high fat content in fried foods significantly slows gastric emptying, how quickly food leaves your stomach, while oatmeal's fiber already slows things down in a beneficial way. Adding a large amount of fried fat can lead to excessive slowness, causing that feeling of being weighed down or bloated for a long time after eating. For some, this can exacerbate issues like acid reflux or indigestion, which can become more common with age. Beyond immediate discomfort, regularly pairing your nutrient-rich oatmeal with nutrient-poor, high-fat, processed meats like bacon or sausage means you're starting your day by prioritizing less healthy options. You're adding inflammatory components, especially in processed meats, to a meal intended to be anti-inflammatory and heart protective. It's like dressing in your workout clothes but spending the morning on the couch. The intention is good, but the execution is counterproductive. If you like having a savory element or protein with your oatmeal, consider healthier alternatives. Instead of fried bacon or sausage, opt for lean protein like scrambled or poached eggs not fried in excessive oil, a side of smoked salmon, or even plant-based proteins like beans or tofu scramble if that suits your diet. If you crave that savory flavor in your oatmeal, try making savory oatmeal with vegetables, herbs, or a soft-boiled egg on top, rather than sweetening it and adding greasy sides. The goal is to build a breakfast plate where all components work together to provide balanced nutrition and sustained energy, rather than having the healthy part undermined by unhealthy additions. Finally, the seventh common food that can turn your oatmeal from a friend to a foe. And this is related to the sugar issue we discussed earlier, but specifically focuses on syrups and sauces high in high fructose corn syrup, HFCS, or artificial ingredients. You see, this goes beyond just simple added sugar and targets those ubiquitous pancake or waffle syrups and sugary sauces often drizzled onto oatmeal or served alongside. These syrups are often primarily composed of high fructose corn syrup and artificial colors, flavors, and preservatives. High fructose corn syrup is a highly processed sweetener that is rapidly absorbed and metabolized differently by the body than other sugars, potentially leading to greater strain on the liver and contributing more directly to issues like fatty liver disease and insulin resistance when consumed in large amounts. For older adults, who may already be managing metabolic concerns, adding this type of sweetener to their oatmeal is particularly detrimental. Just like excessive table sugar, these syrups cause a rapid and significant spike in blood sugar. They provide empty calories with no nutritional value, no fiber, no vitamins, nothing beneficial. They simply contribute to the sugar load and can trigger inflammation in the body. Drenching your healthy oatmeal in these processed syrups completely negates the slow-release energy benefits and heart-healthy aspects you're seeking from the oats. You're essentially turning a whole-grain meal into a dessert loaded with problematic sweeteners. The toxic element here isn't a literal poison, but the consistent metabolic stress and inflammatory response these processed syrups can trigger, working directly against the gentle, nourishing qualities of the oatmeal. Think of it as introducing chaotic, disruptive elements into a system designed for smooth operation. The solution here is clear. Avoid these highly processed syrups altogether. If you want sweetness, use a small amount of real maple syrup, honey, or date syrup, focusing on quality and portion control. Better yet, rely on the natural sweetness of fruits we discussed earlier. A compote made from simmering berries or apples with a touch of cinnamon can be a wonderful, naturally sweet topping. This ensures your oatmeal remains a source of stable energy and health benefits, free from the metabolic burden imposed by processed syrups. So there you have it. 7 common foods that, while perhaps enjoyed elsewhere in your diet in moderation, can unfortunately turn your simple, healthy bowl of oatmeal into something that might cause digestive issues, blood sugar problems, or counteract the very benefits you're seeking. We've talked about excessive added sugar, refined grains and sugary cereals, large amounts of full-fat dairy, processed sweeteners, large quantities of dried fruit with added sugar, fried ingredients eaten alongside, and syrups high in high-fructose corn syrup. It's easy to fall into old habits or reach for convenient toppings, but being mindful of these combinations can make a world of difference in how your body feels and how much benefit you actually get from your oatmeal. Remember, oatmeal is a fantastic food. These aren't reasons to stop eating it, but reasons to be smart about how you eat it. Simple swaps like using fresh fruit instead of dried, opting for spices over sugar, choosing leaner proteins, or using healthier milk alternatives can transform your bowl from potentially problematic to truly powerful. Small changes really can make a big difference to your health and happiness, especially as we navigate the wonderful journey of aging. Paying attention to these details helps ensure that the healthy choices you make are actually working for you, not against you. You deserve to feel your best, full of energy and comfort after every meal. We covered a lot today, and I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. Have you noticed any of these combinations affecting you? Do you have other favorite healthy oatmeal toppings or pairings you rely on? Share your wisdom and questions in the comments below. Your experiences can help others in our community. If you found this video helpful and informative, please give it a thumbs up. It helps us know we're providing valuable content for you. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. We share regular tips and information focused on helping you live a vibrant, healthy life at every age. We have many more videos coming up on food, health, and well-being specifically for our audience. Thank you for watching and for being a part of this community. Keep making those smart choices, listen to your body, and enjoy your food in ways that nourish and support you. Live your best life at every age.